Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be discussing something super exciting in regards to the upcoming Transformers Rise of the Beasts movie. Now, of course, as many of you guys know, the film was originally supposed to hit theaters this year. June 2022 was the original release date for Transformers Rise of the Beasts. However, for whatever reason, they have postponed it by a whole 12 months until June 2023. And much like we've seen from some of the gimmick-inspired toys by Hasbro, most companies can't sadly do the same for merchandise just due to distribution agreements. Of course, their actual own schedule. If they were to postpone merchandise, it would leave a massive gap in their market, and I believe this particular product that we'll be discussing in today's video is a piece of official merchandise for the upcoming Rise of the Beasts movie. Now, before we get stuck in and begin actually dissecting this, it's worth noting that nothing as of this recording is officially confirmed, so just take everything with a big grain of salt, although I think this is probably the most official look that we've seen so far of how the characters shall appear in the upcoming Transformers Rise of the Beast movie, and it appears to be an almost steelbook. Now, this was found on a Russian website called Wildberries, and straight off the bat we get our first official look of how Optimus Prime shall appear in Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and he looks fantastic. As many of you guys know, I was lucky enough to be invited by Paramount Pictures themselves to this really awesome production kickoff event for Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and they showed basically this CGI render in concept art. It was the B-movie Optimus Prime with some metallic silver pieces on the front of the chest, and that is basically what this art is, and he looks absolutely fantastic. This is the design that we will now be seeing going forward for the live action movies, and I couldn't be any happier. I was a huge fan of the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, as I know many of you were, and if anything, he actually looks even better here with some of those silver highlights. So you can see the head sculpt is exactly the same. The actual sun visors appear to be metallic silver, and those shoulder pads too are also silver. I imagine a carryover from that massive front grille that he now retains in his truck mode, but it's a super cool CG render, and considering that we're already seeing our first official look here of Prime, I have without any doubt that in the next few months we're going to be seeing more characters such as Primal, Bumblebee, maybe even Scourge and Nightbird, but he looks really cool. Sadly, the image is slightly obscured due to the posing and just considering how front and center that head sculpt and torso truly is, but definitely I'm loving what I'm seeing here. It's great to see that they are in fact carrying over some of those Transformers Bumblebee designs here into Rise of the Beasts, and I'm actually really excited to see how Bumblebee turns out. Of course, he will once again retain his Camaro, and the last time we saw him in his Camaro form was Transformers The Last Night, so are they going to harken back to the Michael Bay movies, or are they basically just going to take the robot mode from Bumblebee and just slap on some Camaro pieces? It'll be really intriguing to see as to how that turns out, but a great first look here of Optimus Prime. I think he looks awesome. Definitely let me know down in the comment section below on what you guys think. And then we turn our attention to the back of this almost cover slash steelbook, and this gives us our best indication of the entire Maximal and Predacon cast that we've seen so far. Now, once again, it's worth noting that this is not officially confirmed, although I do believe this is the art that was seen on a very recent Transformers Rise of the Beasts official poster that was released by Hasbro. So I'm going to go out and say that this is basically 99% confirmed. Now, the art itself does in fact actually give us our greatest indication of all of the Predacons and Maximals that we can expect to see so far. Of course, officially revealed, we already know that Optimus Prime was going to be in the movie. We know that Air Razor, Rhinox, and Cheetah's going to be in the film. But in regards to the Predacons, we know of none of them. And of course, they're not just going to give us 4 Maximals. So we'll no doubt get a much bigger cast in the movie. And if this art is anything to go by, we're definitely going to be seeing all of the major players as seen in Transformers Beast Wars. So the first character that I was able to depict is of course Optimus Primal. He's smack bang right at the top of this art, and it's undeniably supposed to be an ape slash gorilla. Then as we take a look at the character next to him, this is undeniably supposed to be Pterosaur. It is that of a pterodactyl. If Pterosaur actually makes his appearance in Rise of the Beasts, I'm going to be super happy. I was a massive fan of the character in, of course, the original Beast Wars series. Next to him we have a falcon. That's undeniably Air Razor, who we already know will be appearing in the movie, and then just below her we have a spider. Now, it's not entirely clear as to whether or not this is a Black Widow or a Tarantula. Of course, if it was a Black Widow, it would be Black Arachnia, Tarantula, Tarantulas. I'm going to go and say that it is a Black Widow. Black Arachnia is a bigger character when in comparison to Tarantulas, and if they were to pick a spider character, personally, I think that many fans would be a lot more happier with seeing Black Arachnia on the silver screen. So could we potentially be seeing that character in the movie? I'm definitely hoping so. It'll be awesome to actually see her go head to head with Air Razor in battle. And then just below Black Arachnia is of course this huge rat, that being Rat Trap, and then underneath him is a very difficult image to in fact actually depict unless you flip it upside down, but that is definitely a T-Rex, Beast Wars Megatron may in fact just be about to make his live-action debut, and if he's half as good as he was in Beast Wars, we're definitely in for a treat. I cannot wait to see mechanical transforming T-Rexes, much like the Dinobots from Age of Extinction, back on the screens. Those are going to create for some awesome epic battles. Next in Megatron does appear to be a Rhino, so of course Rhinox, who is already confirmed, and then above him is a Scorpion, that of course alluding to perhaps Scorponok, which once again is super exciting. Above the Scorpion we've got a Cheetah, so of course Cheetor, and then above Cheetor is in fact a Raptor. Now this is undeniably supposed to be Dinobot. I didn't think they'd actually put Dinobot in a live action movie. If I were to be honest, I maybe would have saved him for a later film and put in, say, the likes of Tigatron, but I'm not complaining. I thought that Dinobot was an excellent character in Beast Wars. He's definitely a favourite amongst fans, so it'd be really cool to see his live action movie depiction. But if this particular piece of art is in fact anything to go by in regards to the Predacon and Maximal cast, we're definitely in for, I would say, our heaviest Transformers cast in a very long time, because this pretty much gives us basically the vast majority of the original Season 1 Beast Wars characters in regards to Maximal and Predacons. And when you factor in that we're also going to be seeing Terracons, the likes of Nightbird, as well as Scourge, and then for Autobots and Decepticons, we're going to be getting Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Mirage, RC, Wheeljack, and at the time of this recording, the Decepticons are not officially confirmed, but that is one massive cast. And I am in fact actually really hoping that in regards to the Decepticons, we can see the likes of, at long last, Megatron actually make an appearance, and of course Starscream, Soundwave, and Shockwave, all of those wicked characters that showed up in that Bumblebee Cybertronian battle sequence. But definitely super exciting. The hype for the movie is certainly gearing up. We've already seen our first look at some of the upcoming toys, and already we've got our first official piece of merchandise for the upcoming Rise of the Beasts movie. I think Optimus Prime looks great, and all of the characters that are in fact actually teased at the back of this definitely makes me super excited for the cast of the upcoming live action movie. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you guys think of this new design for the Transformers Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime? And of course, please feel free to let me know your thoughts on what could potentially be the cast for the Predacons and Maximals. As always, I thank you guys all so much for watching, and until my next video, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.